What's up, guys? It is Broken Havoc here, right here, finally on the Broken Havoc podcast, here to review SummerSlam 2021 from Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium. I know what you're all thinking. I haven't done a video in a couple days ever since CM Punk's debut, which was a couple days ago. It was last Friday. But, originally this was supposed to be a live stream, but I'm going to get right to the chase on why I did not live stream right after SummerSlam. I have two major reasons as to why. The main reason is because of the fact that there were some connection issues. During the stream, there's a lot of buffering going on, and it looked really terrible. The quality just looked really terrible, and there was a lot of buffering going on, and the connection was just really bad. Not only that, the show ended way too late, in my view. I was already tired at this point, and I felt like, what was the point of doing a whole stream if you could easily do it the next day? As you guys know, I did not film the SummerSlam review. I'm giving you guys the day of Dynamite, which is not good. I will admit that was my fault, but there's a lot of other things going on, like my semester starting, and I've been extremely busy these past few days. Another thing is that I do not know if I'm going to be going live right after All Out. I'm thinking about it. I'm going to try to make a decision. If I do not go live after All Out, I will still be getting you a review for All Out. But my apologies if my apologies for not going live. I wanted to go live. I legit wanted to go live, but the thing is that there was a lot of technical issues going on. Not only that, there's just the show just went off the air way too late, and I don't like it when it does. Overall thoughts on the show, I thought it was an okay show. There's a lot of things that I liked, but at the same time, there's things that I did not like. A lot of people did not like this show, and that's your opinion, and many of the reasons is rightfully so. Of course, we had the return of the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar. Oh, that's Becky Lynch. But yeah, we did have the return of Becky Lynch, but we had the return of Brock Lesnar as well. What are my thoughts on these returns? I went apeshit when Becky returned. If you guys saw my Instagram, I went apeshit for Becky Lynch. But for Becky, the fact that, we originally slated to get Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair. But the thing that was crazy was the fact that, they did not have the match, and we all thought it was going to be Carmella, and we actually legitimately thought it was going to be freaking Carmella. But instead, it was Becky Lynch. And then all of a sudden, Becky Lynch beats her in, 10 seconds, 20 seconds. Yeah, that was not good, but I'm going to talk about that later on. I'm in a win-lose situation when it comes to these scenarios, but I'll explain why later. The whole Brock Lesnar return after the Reigns and Cena match. First off, the Reigns and Cena match was really good. I mean, the majority of the match, Roman Reigns dominated that whole match. John Cena was just getting killed throughout the entire match. But I will say the match was not bad at all. And, of course, the return of Brock Lesnar was awesome, in my opinion, because of the fact that, we haven't seen Brock Lesnar in ages, and we're finally going to be getting Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns in the near future. And also the commentary team was for Smackdown, especially the way that they reacted to Brock Lesnar return was the funniest thing ever. I really enjoyed it. But another thing that I want to address is the Raw review. I actually missed Raw on Monday. I actually still didn't get a chance to see it. I heard it was bad as usual. It was still a really bad show. Damien Priest is was challenging Bobby Lashley. If that's the case, great, whatever. It's not. I mean, when it comes to Damien Priest, he's the new U.S. champion, but him already challenging Bobby Lashley, it's a good thing, but at the same time a bad thing because of the fact that, Damien Priest just won the U.S. title, and you're basically telling the viewer, oh, yeah, the U.S. title is not really that important as, we say it is, but in reality, it's really not important. But, SummerSlam as a whole. Oh, and by the way, there's not going to be any Raw review this week, so my apologies for that. I'm going to be honest, I was thinking about giving you guys a Raw review last night, but, I was like, do I really have to watch a whole 3-hour Raw? I don't know, man. I'm going to try because this is going to be a trend for, up until, December, it's going to be like this because Monday is, my crazy day when it comes to my classes. But, I'm going to try to give you guys a Raw review on a Tuesday because I'm literally like I'm fine for the rest of the week, but like when it comes to Mondays, they're crazy, and I tend to miss Raw. But let's be straight up, there's not really anything of that importance happening on Raw. But I'm still gonna give you guys the Raw reviews. I just gotta see like how I'm gonna manage all this time to dedicate myself on a 3-hour wrestling show. So. But yeah, there's no Raw review this week. Most likely there's definitely going to be a Raw review next week. There was also no Smackdown review. Again, it was hectic throughout the weekend and, of course, starting this week. So overall thoughts on SmackDown was just full of rematches. I mean, SmackDown was not a great show. I mean, the ending with John Cena and Roman Reigns was it was not bad. But like the stipulation that if Roman Reigns loses, he leaves WWE was thrown so last minute. Like, it made you not care because of the fact that they threw it completely last minute. But the match itself was really good. I really enjoyed the match. I will say that. Of course, Edge and Seth Rollins absolutely killed it. That was the match of the night. I really enjoyed Edge and Seth Rollins. Edge coming out to the Brood entrance was fucking awesome. Of course, he basically he pulled a WCW New Blood on Seth Rollins on SmackDown. If you guys don't know what the New Blood is, it was a faction in WCW 2000, which WCW in 2000 was garbage. But I'd watch that 10 times rather than Monday Night Raw in 2021. But back to SummerSlam. Again, this show was not the best show. The set design, and look, I know this is not the important thing, but I'm a sucker for set designs. It was the most basic set design you could possibly imagine, but, I mean, it is what it is. But overall thoughts on this show, I'd give this show, I don't know, man. I'm kind of 50-50 when it comes to this show. I thought it was okay, but at the same time, I thought it was not that great because of the disappointing things we saw. And also, the ending with Bobby Lashley and Goldberg, with Bobby Lashley attacking Goldberg's son. I don't know what that's going to lead to be honest. I mean, we're probably going to get a match with Lashley and Goldberg at, like, I don't know, the next Saudi Arabia show. But, I'm going to be honest, like, on the Raw side of things on this show, I mean, look, the tag match was awesome. Eva Maria versus Alexa Bliss. I don't know why that match was on the main card. That match should have been on the kickoff, in my opinion, because of the fact that, number one, the match was way too short. And not only that, the match just flat out sucked, in my opinion. But I'm going to start off with SummerSlam. So we got the Raw Tag Team titles. We got RK Bro versus AJ Styles and Omos. This was not a bad opener to the show. I mean, of course, everybody expected RK Bro to win the tag titles, and they did eventually win the tag team championships. What are my thoughts on them winning the tag titles? I thought it was the right decision because I'm going to be quite honest, I'm tired of seeing Omos and AJ Styles together. AJ Styles shouldn't even be in the tag division, to be honest. I mean, I don't even know if there's a freaking tag team division on Raw. Let's be honest with yourself. You, the viewer, be honest with yourself. There's really no tag division on Raw. Like, WWE don't care about the tag teams on Raw. They just throw two wrestlers together and boom, you got a tag team. But RK Bro, of course, RK Bro is extremely over. I will say that. I love RK Bro. As much as Raw as the show sucks, I love RK Bro. They're really funny. Riddle has grown with me ever since he came to the main roster. And again, as someone that doesn't watch NXT, I watched a little bit of Matt Riddle on NXT. He was really cool. And, he acted like Matt Riddle, but if you compare Matt Riddle in NXT to Matt Riddle in the main roster, you can clearly see the difference. They're playing Riddle out on the main roster as if he's always high, that shit. But at the same time, he takes things seriously. Like Matt Riddle in NXT, he acted that way as well, but like not as much as he does on the main roster. And I felt like they were basically doing that whole high train with Matt Riddle like times 100 on the main roster than NXT. But this whole RK Bro thing, I will admit, I'm enjoying it. But let's go with the match. Orton and Styles start. We got a suplex by Orton. We got a tag made by Riddle. We got a double team attempt by both Riddle and Orton. Omos tags in. Omos with the shoulder tackle. Then after that, he throws Riddle with the slam. Omos works on the arm of Riddle. Riddle's on the top. He tries to apply a sleeper, but Omos escapes. Omos then runs to Riddle into the corner. We get a tornado DDT by Riddle. Then Styles hits a backbreaker on Riddle. We get a side headlock by Styles. Then Riddle knees Omos when Styles sends him to the corner. Riddle then sends Styles into the corner, then tries to tag Orton, but fails to do so. We get a jumping knee strike by Riddle. Orton tags in. Orton is on a rampage, no pun intended. Then we get a clothesline in the corner by Orton. Sends AJ to the corner. Orton then hits a power slam. Jimmy Smith, I will say this. Jimmy Smith has been making a little kind of botches when it comes to a little bit of moves. I mean, like, he called the power slam, I believe he called it a body slam, and I'm like, no, it's a power slam. But it's just small botches. I hope he fixes those. I mean, I guarantee you, I feel like nobody really noticed that, but I feel like, Jimmy Smith was kind of botching a little bit on the moves. We get a DDT by Orton. Orton is setting up the RKO, but then after that, Omos takes out Riddle. Then we get the choke slam on Riddle on the apron. Riddle then sends Omos to the post. Then AJ with an inverted DDT to the outside. Yes, he hit his famous inverted DDT. That move he's done. I mean, he's done that move in the WWE, but I haven't seen him do that move in ages, for all I care. But, like, that's a classic AJ Styles move right there. He hit the inverted DDT, as Mike Tenay would say. Then AJ tries to go for the phenomenal forearm, but then Orton tries to hit the RKO, but AJ counters into a roll-up. We get a near fall, but then out of nowhere, RKO out of nowhere, Randy Orton hits the RKO. 1, 2, 3. RK Bro, Riddle and Randy Orton are your new Raw Tag Team Champions. Overall thoughts on this match? I thought this was a pretty good match. The outcome was great. I enjoyed the fact that they actually put the belts on Riddle and Orton. When it comes to Styles and Omos, I mean, like, I honestly do not care. I mean, AJ just needs to go back to the main event scene. I mean, that's where you need to put him. Because if you're not going to put AJ in the main event scene, what the hell are you going to be doing with AJ Styles? Put him in the mid-card? No, you have to put him in the main event scene. We got Eva Marie versus Alexa Bliss. This match sucked. I mean, I didn't care about, look, Eva Marie, she did a couple waist locks there and there, and I will admit, even though they were not the best, I mean, they were not that bad, but she was still not that good in the ring. I'm going to be straight up. This match was extremely short. Nobody cared about this match. The crowd was dead. Again, Eva Marie does some shitty slaps, but Alexa sits in the middle of the ring. Eva then with a couple of waist locks. We get an elbow by Eva. And guess what we get? We get "We Want Wyatt" chants. So every time when Alexa Bliss wrestles on either a Raw or on a pay-per-view, we get "We Want Wyatt" chants. I keep messing up my words. "We Want Wyatt" chants. I was about to say Riot. Like, what the fuck? But we keep getting "We Want Wyatt" chants. I definitely expect Bray Wyatt to be in AEW, to be 100% honest with you. Because it's just the right call for him. But that's AEW. We're talking about WWE right now. We get a right elbow and a knee. Eva goes to the top and smacks the doll like this when she's on the top rope. Then smacks Alexa with the doll. Eva plants herself in the middle of the ring. Then Alexa plants her to the mat. We get a cover and a near fall. Eva runs into face first. She runs into the ropes. My bad. My words were kind of messed up. Alexa misses the twisted Bliss. Then Eva covers twice. She covers twice, and I believe the second time she tried to hold on to Alexa Bliss when it came to that pinfall. Just use one leg. I don't know. The way she covered was just weird. And then we get a cover. Both were near falls, by the way. We get a kick by Bliss, and then we get a DDT by Bliss. And bro, this is the funniest shit ever. When Alexa Bliss hit that DDT, Eva just face planted and just no sold it. Like, she just face planted like this. Like that. Like, bruh, at least sell it genuinely for God's sakes. But then we get a cover and Bliss wins the match. Honestly, what was the point of this match? I have no idea. I mean, made absolutely no sense. This whole feud is really stupid. We get Mario Lopez at SummerSlam. He introduces the new tag champions, RKO. Of course, Riddle cuts a typical Riddle promo talking about that he has a gift in store for Randy Orton and all that shit. We got a really good match. We got Damien Priest. Oh my god, the funniest thing about this show was the fact that they were rushing through all the matches. Like I that's what I felt throughout watching this show. Like they were trying to like rush through all these matches. But this match was a really good match. I will say this. We got Damien Priest versus Sheamus. This was not a bad match at all. Of course, Damien Priest went over in the match. I don't know what the hell Sheamus is doing, to be honest. Like Sheamus, the same freaking gimmick that he used for years now, bro. It's time to reinvent yourself. I know he came out with like a whole trench coat and stuff, but like that don't change anything. Like, just try to reinvent yourself. And one of the problems why I feel like the WWE product is stale is that you have a lot of people that have been in the main roster for ages, and they haven't reinvented themselves at all. And it's not their fault. It's creative's fault, okay? Like, Natalya, like, she has had the same freaking gimmick for how long now? For ages. Like, come on now, really? You know, you gotta reinvent yourself. Reinvent yourself. But, the match was really good. I mean, Sheamus and, especially near the end of the match, I mean, Damien Priest and Sheamus looked really good. They both looked really good in the match. Both lock up. We got a side headlock by Sheamus. Priest with the wrist lock. Then we got a drop toe hold takedown by Sheamus. Side headlock, shoulder tackle by Sheamus. Then we get a back elbow by Priest. Then we get a Falcon Arrow, or a driver, whatever you want to call it, by Priest. That looked like a Falcon Arrow to me. We get a kick by Sheamus. Then we get a somersault from the middle rope on Sheamus over the top rope by Priest. Then we get a knee by Sheamus in the back of the ring. Priest is on the outside. Sheamus then goes to the outside. We get repeated kicks by Priest. Then hits a right hand. He tries to go for the spinning kick, but Priest gets sent to the post instead. Then Priest gets back in the ring. We get a couple of stomps by Sheamus. Then Sheamus hits a back suplex. We get a cover and a near fall. Then Sheamus with the side headlock. Then we get a backbreaker by Sheamus on Priest. We get a kick by Sheamus. Sheamus continues to work on Priest. Priest then fights back. We get a shot to the back by Priest. Then we get repeated elbows by Priest after that. We get an elbow by Priest. Then Sheamus after that begins to regain control. Then after that, Sheamus then we get a cover by Sheamus, but we get a near fall. Then he fixes his hair. Priest is on the apron. We get a shot to the back of Priest. We get repeated shots to the chest on Priest by Sheamus. Then Priest proceeds to hit a tornado DDT after that. We get a right hand by Priest. Then Priest goes for repeated rights. We get a clothesline by Priest. Then he hits a second clothesline. Then Priest goes up and over. We get a kick on Sheamus. Then proceeds to go to the top. We get a spinning heel kick from the top by Priest on Sheamus, which looked dope, by the way. We get a cover and a near fall. He tries to go for the reckoning, but Sheamus counters. Sheamus goes to the top. Priest goes to the top as well, but Sheamus takes Priest over the top rope. Sheamus then hits the Alabama Slam after that. We get a slap by Priest after that. Then Sheamus hits a headbutt. Sheamus tries to go for the bro kick, but misses. And then Priest proceeds to hit his kick. Then hits a choke slam. We get a cover and a near fall. We get a springboard by Priest, but Sheamus counters into a knee after that. That was a devastating knee, by the way. We get a cover and a near fall. Priest then goes for the inside cradle, but we get a near fall after that. Then Sheamus tries to apply a heel hook after that. Priest goes, he goes to the top and tries to take the mask off of Sheamus. Then he goes for repeated rights. Then takes Sheamus into the corner. We get a spinning heel kick by Priest. Priest hits the reckoning. Damien Priest is your new U.S. World Champion. I sound like Tony Schiavone in WCW, the U.S. World Champion or the U.S. Heavyweight Champion. WWE barely be saying that. They only say the United States Champion. They barely say the U.S. Heavyweight title. I like saying it that way. Oh, he's the new U.S. Heavyweight Champion, because that's how you should say it. But Damien Priest is your new United States Champion. Overall thoughts on this match? I thought this was not a bad match at all. I really enjoyed this match. Priest looked great. Sheamus looked great as well. Overall thoughts? I'm glad that Damien Priest is in the mid card, and he's finally won a singles title on the main roster. Of course, in NXT he did win the North American Championship, but this is the main roster. Things are different there. But he won the U.S. title, and then on Raw he immediately challenged Bobby Lashley for the WWE title. Why? I don't know why. I mean, if you're the U.S. champion, makes the total sense to, I don't know, do an open challenge or something. You know, WWE didn't even do that with Damien Priest. I don't know why, but like they should have done like a whole open challenge for him. But it is what it is. You know, I'm glad that Priest is the new U.S. champion, but I mean, I have zero faith in WWE for like doing anything with Damien Priest. We'll see. We got the Usos versus Rey and Dominic Mysterio for the Smackdown Tag Team Championships. Overall thoughts on this match, I thought this was a really good match. This match was really fun to watch. I mean, we've seen rematches of any caliber when it comes to these two teams on SmackDown, which was starting to become extremely repetitive and really dumb because of the fact that you're going to be getting this match at the SummerSlam pay-per-view. But, I mean, you know, like we constantly got matches with Jey Uso versus Rey Mysterio or Jey Uso versus Dominic, and then vice versa. We got Jimmy Uso versus Rey or Jimmy Uso versus Dominic. Like, really? You really have to do that on the build to SummerSlam? But it is what it is. Rey and Jimmy start, both exchange shots. Rey hits a Hurricane Rana. He tries to go for the 619, but Jimmy escapes. We get a dropkick by Rey. Dominic sends Jey to the outside, then hits a baseball slide, that being Rey Mysterio. Then Dominic hits a crossbody after that, so we got a little bit of double team attempt right there. We get a cover and a near fall. Dominic is legal. Then Dominic proceeds to hit the Three Amigos, which looked freaking awesome. I really liked that. Jey tags in. He is legal. Dominic did not know that Jey Uso was the legal man after that. Jey takes Dominic to the outside from the top. Then he sends Dominic to the post. Jey works on Dominic after that. Dominic tries to tag Rey but fails to do so. Jimmy tags in. We get a backbreaker double team attempt by the Usos. Jimmy with a stomp, then hits a headbutt. Then we get a cover and a near fall. Then Jimmy hits a knee. Jey Uso tags in after that. Dominic fights back with a couple rights and lefts. Elbows by Dominic, but gets hit with an uppercut by Jey Uso. We get a suplex by Jey Uso. Then we get a second suplex by Jey Uso. Dominic tries to make the tag again, but does not proceed to. Dominic counters the third suplex into a neck breaker, which looked dope. I like the commentary team. He's like, oh no, he's not getting that third amigo right there. That was pretty dope by the commentary team. They were basically like mentioning the whole Three Amigos thing. Both teams then make the hot tag. Rey with a springboard moonsault. Rey gets caught but counters into a tornado DDT. Then we get a cover and a near fall. Rey then hits a senton. Jey gets taken out. Jimmy hits a super kick. We get a cover and a near fall. Then we get a double team attempt by both Jimmy and Jey. But Rey instead sends Jimmy to the outside. We get a kick by Jey. Then a kick by Rey. Jey gets the advantage. Goes to the top. Then Jey Uso hits the Uso splash from the top. We get a cover and a close-ass near fall. Then after that, Dominic comes back. Both Jey and Dominic are on the apron. Jimmy tries to do the Uso splash but misses. Then Jimmy gets sent to the middle rope. Then Rey proceeds to finally hit the 619 again. Then Rey goes to the top. We got a frog splash by Rey, but Jimmy counters with putting both of his knees up after that. Then we get a kick by the Usos. Tag made. And then we get a double suplex by the Usos. Jey goes to the top. Jey Uso hits the Uso splash. We get a cover, and the Usos retain the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Overall thoughts on this match? This was a really good match. I did not expect Rey and Dominic to win back the SmackDown Tag titles. I'm going to be 100% honest with that. The Usos were definitely retaining those titles, whether you like it or not. I felt like it was the right booking decision in my view because, the Usos are not going to be losing those tag titles for a long period of time. All right, after that, Rick Boogs is shredding the guitar while Pat McAfee is marking out like he always does, which is freaking awesome. But then we get Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. So what was the point of Rick Boogs being out there? No reason whatsoever. And also Shinsuke Nakamura showed up, but let's be straight up, they didn't do anything with him. So it says that... They said that Sasha cannot compete, so the replacement is going to be Carmella. And the reaction on social media was the funniest shit ever, bro. I laughed my ass off, and I'm like, bro, this is what you get? I expected Becky Lynch. And hell, I even tweeted this out on Twitter. Like, I expected Becky Lynch. But then all of a sudden, what happens? Once we were about to get the match with Carmella versus Bianca Belair, Bianca grabs the mic and she was like, what the hell's going on? But what happens? Becky Lynch's music plays and she's finally back after how long? Over a year? Like, it's great to see Becky Lynch back. She got a huge, and I mean huge, crowd reaction from the crowd. I'm going to be straight up with that. The crowd reaction was amazing. But there was one little issue, and I'm going to be explaining that issue. But am I happy that Becky Lynch is back? Yes, absolutely. First off, she was originally part of the Raw roster, so I do not know why she's going to be on SmackDown. But, I mean, WWE don't focus on logic, so it is what it is. But she's going to be on SmackDown, which is clearly the A show in the WWE right now. But she proceeds to take out Carmella, and then Bianca and Becky faced off, and it looked like we were going to get an amazing match. It really did. Like, the atmosphere was intense, and, it was awesome. But what is a way to shit on your fan base? Literally, what is a perfect way to shit on your fan base? After you get like a huge atmosphere reaction from the crowd, you ruin it. And what happens? Match starts. Then Becky wants to shake hands. Bianca gets caught. We get a manhandle slam by Becky. 1, 2, 3. Bianca Belair gets buried by Becky Lynch. Yeah, that's it. The match was short. Literally, they made Bianca Belair look extremely stupid by falling for a handshake by Becky Lynch. Out of all people, you want to handshake Becky Lynch. Come on. Really? It literally made Bianca Belair look dumb. And it's not her fault. It's the WWE's creatives. It's the creatives' fault. Like, why would you do this? Like, I'm like, again, I tweeted this out on Twitter that I'm in a win-lose situation when it comes to this type of thing. Because of the fact that Becky Lynch is back, right? But I mean, the fact that you just had to have, her lose, no, not her, Bianca lose to Becky Lynch in like less than 20 seconds by a really dumb decision is extremely stupid. I do not know why WWE did this. Apparently she is now a heel, which made no sense because she had a huge crowd reaction, but hey, they're going to turn her heel, so she's probably going to have an explanation this Friday on SmackDown. But again, look, I'm glad that she's back, but I don't know why they did this decision. And the crazy thing is that the Raw Women's Championship match, like literally that match was really good, and that is coming from somebody that really does not care about the Raw Women's title and the match that happened at SummerSlam. But I will say that match was amazing. That triple threat match with Nikki ASH, Charlotte, and Rhea Ripley was awesome. But at the same time, the awesomeness in that match should have been this match with Becky and Bianca Belair. Instead, we didn't get that, and we got a 20-second to 15-second burial, or 15-second to 20-second burial. Like, what was the point of this, to be honest? It's a way to shit on your fan base, and not only that, also just shit on your wrestlers. Like, really? That's the best you got? Man, it's really stupid, but it is what it is. WWE is really dumb, and this is a lot of people were saying this is in response to AEW getting CM Punk, which I don't know about that. I mean, I can't see that, but I feel like that discussion goes to Brock Lesnar. Maybe both, both Brock Lesnar and Becky Lynch. But let's be straight up. I mean, CM Punk is the talk of the wrestling world right now. It ain't SummerSlam. It ain't nothing else. We got Drew McIntyre versus Jinder Mahal, another match that I absolutely did not care about. This match went extremely short. McIntyre takes Jinder to the corner. We got a slam by McIntyre. Prepares for a Claymore, but Mahal goes to the outside. Then McIntyre hits a belly-to-belly suplex on the outside. Jinder then begs McIntyre not to hit him. But then we get a kick by Jinder. Then we get a cover and a near fall. Jinder then hits a knee after that. Proceeds to work on McIntyre. McIntyre hits the Glasgow Kiss. After that, we get repeated overhead suplexes by McIntyre. We get a Future Shock DDT as well by Drew McIntyre. McIntyre hits the Claymore. McIntyre wins the match. Overall thoughts on this match. I thought this match First off, what was the point of this match? I mean, nobody cared about this match. Nobody cared about the feud. I mean, it was just really dumb, but it is what it is. We got Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley versus Nikki ASH for the Raw Women's Championships. This is the match I was talking about that basically, this match was really good, but I'm going to be honest, this match should have been Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair. Originally, it was slated to be Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair, but we didn't get that. Instead, we got Becky returning. It should have been what we saw in this match. That Becky versus Bianca should have been the show stealer at this show, but WWE just wanted to shit on the fans, and they did not really care at all, which I thought was really dumb. But overall thoughts on this match, I thought this was a really good match. Charlotte pushes Nikki, then Rhea pushes Charlotte. We got a shoulder tackle by Rhea. Nikki then goes to the top and flips off Charlotte. Hits a flip on Charlotte. Then we get a roll up by Nikki on Rhea. We get a 1 count. Then Charlotte comes in, sends Nikki to the outside. Nikki then hits a takedown. Rhea escapes. Then Rhea picks up Nikki. Nikki with the roll up. Charlotte used Nikki to take out Rhea after that. Works on everyone. Sends Rhea to the corner. Then Charlotte hits a backbreaker. Nikki then hits a crossbody. Charlotte with a slam on Nikki on Rhea Ripley, which looked devastating. The crowd at this point was dead in the beginning of the match. I will say that. The crowd was extremely dead during the beginning of this whole match. Charlotte misses a moonsault after that. Rhea then misses the Riptide, as Ed Nonverk would say, and Nikki crossbodies her. Then Charlotte hits a boot. We got a cover into a near fall. Rhea and Charlotte after that slap each other. Rhea then hits a headbutt. Rhea takes out Nikki. We got a running knee by Rhea on Charlotte. Then we get a kick by Rhea. Then Rhea hits a northern-like suplex after that. We get a cover into a near fall. Charlotte sends Rhea into the corner. Nikki is on the top after that. Then Nikki hits the tornado DDT. We get a cover into a near fall. Charlotte then catches Nikki. Then Rhea enters the fray and hits a German suplex on both Charlotte Flair and Nikki ASH. Then Rhea hit with a missile dropkick on Charlotte. Then we get a cover into a near fall. Charlotte and Rhea at this point exchange shots on the outside. Nikki then hits a crossbody. Both Nikki and Rhea try to double suplex Charlotte, but Charlotte counters into a double DDT. Then after that, we get a couple chops by Charlotte. Woo! I love doing that. On both Nikki ASH and Rhea Ripley. We get a kick by Charlotte. Then Charlotte takes Nikki to the outside. Then Rhea gets taken out after that. Charlotte goes to the top, then spins to the outside on both Rhea Ripley and Nikki ASH on the outside of the ring. Mind you. We get a roll up by Nikki. We get a near fall. We get a kick by Rhea. Rhea then applies a submission into the ankle of Nikki. Then Nikki counters in the kick of Charlotte, then applies the submission on Charlotte. Charlotte applies the figure 4 and then proceeds to apply the figure 8. Nikki with the stomp from the top. Then we get a cover by Nikki. Rhea breaks the pinfall attempt. Then Rhea counters with the Riptide. Counters the Riptide with the DDT. Oh, I believe that was her. I mean, counters the Riptide. That's her finisher. My notes were kind of messed up. My apologies. Then, all of a sudden, Nikki misses a crossbody. Charlotte applies the figure 4 and then applies the figure 8 on Nikki ASH. Nikki taps out. Charlotte Flair is once again your new Raw Women's Champion. Overall thoughts on this? I thought this was a really good match. Again, though, what we've seen in this match should have basically been Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch. If you couldn't do it with Sasha Banks because she didn't show up, fine. But like the fact that they didn't do it with Becky Lynch and Bianca is beyond me. I don't know why. Like, this match was more important than Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair or Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair. Now it shows why. You know what I mean? These decisions that WWE make can be really dumb. I'm going to be straight up. So we get Seth Rollins versus Edge. Edge comes out to the Brood entrance and to the Brood music, which looked fucking badass. And then, of course, Metalingus by Alter Bridge plays. This match was amazing. By far the show stealer. This was your Macho Man versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat at WrestleMania 3 type match. This match absolutely killed it. It was fucking awesome. Both men put their work rate from 100 to like 110 Actually, no, that's not a lot. Maybe I don't even know what I'm doing with my numbers, but they did it from 1,000 to 1 million. Like, their work rate in this match was amazing. Edge looked great as usual. Again, Seth Rollins, as I have stated in my predictions video, he is one of the best in-ring performers of all time in this modern generation of wrestling. He's one of the best in-ring performers. He's amazing at what he does. And him wrestling Edge was freaking awesome. But we get a lock up by both. Edge with the advantage. Both lock up again. Then Edge applies a side headlock. We get a right hand by Edge after that. Then takes down Rollins to the outside. Rollins comes back to the ring. We get a couple right hands by Edge. We get repeated rights. We get a kick by Rollins. Rollins then tries to go for the pedigree, but Edge takes him to the outside again. Edge takes Rollins to the apron and then the barricade. We get a knee by Edge to the back of Rollins. Rollins then drives Edge to the ring post. Then he drives him to the steel steps repeatedly after that. Then goes back into the ring. Rollins proceeds to hit a neck breaker after that. We get a cover and a near fall. Rollins continues to work on Edge. Edge proceeds to fight back. Then Rollins hits a sling blade. We get repeated stomps by Rollins. Rollins with a second neck breaker. We get a cover and a near fall. Edge then fights back. Then we get a boot to the corner by Rollins. Rollins then hits the knee. After that. Crap. He hits the knee from the top. We get a cover into near fall. Rollins tries to go for the neck breaker, but Edge counters with a backslide pin attempt. But then we get a near fall. Edge targets the shoulder after that. Both are on the top. Rollins takes out Edge with a couple of elbows. Rollins then proceeds to hit the frog splash after that. Hits it. We get a cover and a near fall. At this point, both are on the top later on. Both fight it out. Then we get a spinning neck breaker by Edge from the top, which looked sick. Edge gets up after that. Then takes Rollins to the top rope. We get a clothesline and a boot by Edge. Then Edge hits the execution. Classic Edge right there. We get a cover and a near fall. Rollins sends Edge to the second turnbuckle. Rollins misses a super kick and then hits Edge with the Edge-O-Matic. Then we get a cover and a near fall. Then Edge goes to the top. Rollins hits a superplex, then hits the Falcon Arrow on Edge, which looked fucking sick. I mean, it's Seth Rollins. What do you expect? We get a cover and a near fall. Rollins at this point misses the curve stomp. Then Edge hits the Grand Slam. Then we get a cover and a near fall. Rollins with a neck breaker on the middle rope. But then Rollins misses a stomp on the middle rope. Gets sent to the post. Edge then hits a spear on Rollins to the outside. Rollins then gets driven to the LED ring board. We get a cover and a near fall. Then he tries to hit the spear, but Rollins counters with a pedigree. Rollins tries to go for a 630, but misses, and then Edge hits the spear. We get a cover and a near fall. Rollins then with the right to the back of the neck of Edge. So again, Rollins is targeting the neck of Edge. I mean, he's been trying to target that. I mean, this whole build was based on Rollins basically wanting to end Edge's career. Let's be sure. That's what this whole feud is based off of. But then after that, we get a cover and a near fall. We get a right hand to the back of the neck for the second time by Rollins. There was no cover and a near fall, by the way. I was just reading the wrong note. We get a super kick on the neck of Edge. Edge then catches Rollins from trying to hit the curve stomp. Then Edge attaches the Educator. Yes, he attaches the Educator. But then we get a roll-up by Rollins. Rollins applies the crossface, but then Edge drives Rollins back with the crossface. Then we get repeated shots head first by Edge on Seth Rollins after that. Edge applies the crossface. Seth taps out. Edge wins this fantastic match. Again, I thought this match was the show stealer. This was your Macho Man versus Randy Savage. This match was really good. The chemistry by both wrestlers was amazing. I mean, from the moment that we heard about the rumors that, Edge was going to face Seth Rollins at SummerSlam, we immediately knew that this match was going to be really good because this match, went on, this match went on long, but it was not that bad long. It was a really good, long when it comes to the match. This match was really good. I really enjoyed the match. A lot of freaking near falls in this match. Edge looked great. Edge was basically pulling classic Edge moves like the Edge-O-Matic, the Educator, and then, the Execution, bruh. Edge was pulling classics on this match, and that's what I really enjoyed. Edge looked great. I mean, he always did. This guy never wanted to retire, and the fact that he came out of retirement was awesome. He's one of the veterans that I've always wanted to want to come out of retirement, because of the fact that Edge never wanted to retire. He was forced to retire. He is not like Bill Goldberg, people. Okay, he is not like Bill Goldberg. So we got the attendance for SummerSlam. It is 51,326 at Allegiant Stadium. Great for them. Fine, whatever. Then we got the Miz and Morrison segment. This was the last time you'll see Miz and Morrison doing this whole Moist TV shit, or whatever the hell they were doing with this whole dripstick garbage, because of the fact that the Miz basically pulled a 2009 on Raw 2 nights ago and turned on Morrison. So John Morrison is on his own. Yes, I know I didn't watch Raw, but I heard about that and I saw it. So yeah, Miz turns on Morrison. I mean, he did that before in 2009 when they got split up in the 2009 draft. So I mean, like, they're revisiting feuds from 2009, people. It's gonna be bragging rights all over again. So they do this whole dripstick 2000 shit. Morrison does not have it, and then Xavier Woods comes out and then just sprays it. A waste of my time, bro. At this point, it was like freaking 11. I don't even remember, like 10:50. I don't remember, bro. Like, the show was starting to become late. I was starting to get tired, and we still didn't even get Goldberg and Lashley. Well, we got the match after that, but we still didn't even get John Cena and Roman. Like, come on now, man. You have time to fill this, really? Like, that. I mean, this whole dripstick shit is. I mean, it's funny, but at the same time, it's really dumb. Because it goes to show you that, like, it's really not pro wrestling. It really isn't pro wrestling. Let's be straight up. This is not really pro wrestling. This is just this is comedy right here, bro. But whatever. We got Goldberg versus Bobby Lashley for the WWE title. I will say, I don't know where this match is going to be going, especially from what we've seen in the ending. Goldberg did not look so great. I mean, it looked like he was going to kill Lashley when he dropped him from the top rope. I mean, Goldberg is known for his botches. He really is. He really is known for his botches, but, it's Goldberg. He don't give a shit about the wrestling business. But the match starts. Both lock up. Lashley pushes Goldberg. We get a shoulder tackle by Lashley. Goldberg no-sells it. Then we get a spear by Goldberg and then hits the slam. It looked like he had a jackhammer. Let's be straight up. The fans look, I'm going to be 100% honest here. The fans absolutely hated Goldberg in the arena at Allegiant Stadium. They did not like Goldberg. Like, Goldberg got booed out of the building. I'm going to be straight up. It would have been atrocious if Goldberg won the title. Because, like, really? You're going to have Goldberg win the title? Whatever. Lashley fights back. Lashley tries to go for the jackhammer. Yes, he's trying to go for the jackhammer. But then Goldberg tries to go for the jackhammer, but fails to do so as well. Then plants Goldberg. Then Lashley proceeds to plant Goldberg to the mat. Lashley goes to the top. Goldberg takes him out from the top, and that spot looked absolutely nasty. It looked like Lashley broke his neck or something. Like, he fell to the mat like crazy. Again, another one of those things where Goldberg is not really as safe as he's not really that safe in the ring when it comes to working a match, because Goldberg can't work a match over 30 minutes or 20 minutes, in my view, especially now. Like, Goldberg was always that type of wrestler for his matches would be like, even in some of his matches in WWE, maybe some of his main event matches, I mean, maybe we're 10 to 15 minutes. I mean, his matches with Triple H, like his match with Adam Forgiven, I mean, that match probably lasted, I don't know how long. I don't remember. I got to go back and watch that match from Unforgiven 2003. But nowadays, I mean, the majority of Goldberg's matches, I mean, his longest match to date was his match with Brock Lesnar and ever since he returned in 2016. And that match was fantastic. I will be straight up. But this match was not the best match. I mean, there's a lot of things going on, but I don't know what the hell's going to be going on. So after that, he's about to go for the spear, but MVP saves Lashley after that. Goldberg hits a spear on Lashley on the outside. Takes Lashley in the ring. He's about to go for the spear, but MVP hits Goldberg with the cane. Lashley escapes. Lashley hits the chop block, tries to apply the hurt lock. Lashley then hits a spear. Lashley picks up Goldberg and drives the knee of Goldberg to the post. Then does the same thing for the second time. So he's just trying to injure that leg of Goldberg after that. Goldberg continues to sell the injury, and the match stops. Yes, the match stopped. There was no clear winner of the match. The match immediately stopped. And then after that, Lashley grabs the chair and drives it to the leg of Goldberg. So he hits repeated shots with the chair onto the leg of Goldberg. Then Goldberg's son Gage comes in out of nowhere, and what happens? Lashley applies the Hurt Lock on on Goldberg's son, on Gage, and yeah, that's that. Where do I think this will go? A lot of people are saying that this feud is not over, and I agree. But I do believe we're probably going to be getting a rematch when it comes to Goldberg and Bobby Lashley. Not at the next pay-per-view, because I doubt that they're going to do that for the next pay-per-view. They're definitely doing it for a Saudi Arabia show. I mean, if it's a Saudi Arabia show, you know Goldberg's going. And he's making all that bank. You know, that's what he's doing. But overall thoughts on this match, I mean, it was not that bad of a match. There was a couple botches by Goldberg, of course, because it's Goldberg. I mean, of course, he's not really the best type of worker. He can be over in some cities. Like from 97, 98, 99, the motherfucker was over. You got to be straight up. And I will be honest, like I was happy when he came back, because I've always wanted to see Goldberg and, you know, the WWE, but like, you know, after that match with Lesnar, I feel like things started to get repetitive when it came to Goldberg in my eyes. You know, after the match with Lesnar at WrestleMania, I mean, like, things just started going downhill for Goldberg. Of course, he had the match with Taker, which did not, you know, go so well. You know, he almost damn near paralyzed the Undertaker when it came to that jackhammer. But yeah, that was Goldberg versus Bobby Lashley. Overall thoughts, I mean, I didn't really care about this match. Let's be straight up, nobody cared about this match. Absolutely nobody cared about this match whatsoever. The match that everybody cared about was this next match. Of course, we got a returning John Cena going for number 17, going up against the Tribal Chief, the head of the table, Roman Reigns, the Universal Champion. One thing I will say is this match was really good. You know, John Cena was getting killed throughout this whole entire match. I will say that. Roman Reigns, of course, was flexing throughout this entire match. The atmosphere, especially in the beginning, was extremely incredible. I really loved the atmosphere when it came to Roman Reigns and John Cena during this match. The atmosphere was amazing within the crowd. But let's get on to the match, because there was a lot of things that happened after the match. Both lock up. We get a side headlock by John Cena. Reigns with the shoulder tackle. Both lock up again. Then we got a shoulder again. So with these whole promos that John Cena was doing, you know, when it comes to 1, 2, 3, he was really playing that out. Like, there was a lot of roll-ups by John Cena. So they're playing out this scenario where John Cena was basically getting killed by Roman Reigns, like from the beginning to the middle of the match. And then in the middle of, like, you know, while in the middle of Roman Reigns just absolutely trying to annihilate John Cena just tried to get a cheap roll-up, but then, of course, fails to do so. So there's a lot of roll-ups by John Cena in this match. So we get a near fall. Then Cena hits the inside cradle. We get a near fall. We get a kick to the midsection by Reigns. At this point, Roman Reigns is mocking John Cena after that. We get after that. Let's see. Oh my God, I just lost where I was. There I am. We get a right hand by Cena. Then we get another roll-up by Cena. Then we get an elbow clothesline by Reigns on Cena. Sends Cena onto the corner. We got a suplex by Reigns. We get a cover and a near fall. Reigns with a chin lock. Then we get a kick by Reigns. Then Reigns hits a suplex. Reigns sends Cena to the outside. Cena with a couple rights on Reigns in the outside as well. Cena gets sent to the steps. Reigns then bounces Cena onto the steps. Reigns is just showing off at this point. Again, as I stated earlier on, he's just flexing, and he was doing that. Reigns and Cena go back in the ring. We get a roll-up by Cena. We get a near fall. Then we get a roll-up by Cena, and we get a near fall. We get clothesline by Reigns. Then Cena takes up Reigns into the AA, but Reigns counters into a DDT. So, again, Reigns is back in control. We get a cover and a near fall. Then Roman Reigns goes straight at the camera, and he apologizes to... He apologizes to the camera, a.k.a. Hollywood, basically saying, "Yo, Hollywood, I'm sorry, but, like, look what I'm doing to this dude." He literally looks straight at the camera. So I mean, that is what you do as a heel. That is exactly what you have to do as a heel, and that was great for me. That was great television for me. So after he goes and just apologizes to Hollywood, Cena proceeds to fight back. Cena then hits a right. We got a roll up by Cena. Another roll up by Cena, I might add. A near fall. Then Reigns applies the sleeper hold. Cena gets back up. Reigns gets on the back of Cena. Cena gets back down. Then Cena gets back up again. Takes Reigns into the corner. We get a clothesline by Cena. Cena with his famous shoulder tackles. Hits his side slam. Tries to go for the you can't see me 5-knuckle shuffle. Classic John Cena right there. But what happens? He gets caught into the guillotine by Reigns. We get a pin attempt by Cena. Then we get a near fall. Then Reigns hits the Superman punch. Reigns tries to go for the spear, but Cena gets a kick. Then Cena hits, finally, the 5-knuckle shuffle. So he goes once again for the 5-knuckle shuffle. But this time he did it at a distance, so he won't get that guillotine applied again by Reigns. So that was pretty smart. Cena hits the AA, or I'm going to go a little old school right here. He hits the FU on Roman Reigns. We got a cover, and we get a close-ass near fall. Then Cena applies his signature submission, the STF. Then Reigns with a drive-by kick on Cena on the outside. Reigns tries to spear Cena, but Cena catches Reigns and hits the AA through the announce table. We get a cover and another close-ass near fall. Then Cena tries to go for the senton, but gets caught into a power slam by Reigns. So that was pretty sick. We get a cover by Reigns and a near fall. Reigns misses the Superman punch into a roll-up, but we get a near fall. Then Cena tries to hit the FU, but Reigns counters into a Superman punch. Reigns then misses the spear, lands on the post. Cena takes Reigns to the top, proceeds to pick up Reigns, hits the FU, or the attitude adjustment, or the AA. I'm going to call it the FU at this point. He hits the FU from the top rope, so he hits the super AA, as Michael Cole likes to say. Then we get a cover, and then we get another near fall. Then, at this point, Cena mocks Reigns, runs into a kick. Cena proceeds to fight back. Both exchange shots. We get a Superman punch by Reigns twice. Roman Reigns spears John Cena. We get a cover. 1, 2, 3. But this time it ain't John Cena. It's Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns retains the Universal Championship at SummerSlam in a really fantastic match against John Cena. Of course, John Cena was getting killed, especially in the beginning of the match, hello near falls, but near the end of the match, that was where the real match kicked in. That was where the real adrenaline kicked in with this match. The super AAs out of nowhere. The fact that John Cena tried to do the 5-knuckle shuffle but gets caught in the guillotine, but then when he does it the second time, he does it from a distance. That was really cool to see. But of course, the head of the table, your tribal chief, retains the Universal Championship. He beat John Cena, so who's next? It's probably going to be Seth Rollins. But that may not be the case because of the fact of what we saw later on, or I should say right after the match. So, once Roman Reigns got his belt back, you got the Beast Incarnate. Yes, Bork Laser, as Grim from Grimm's Toy Show would say. Bork Laser, your boy, Bork Laser. Or I'm going to say Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, but Bork Laser is back. Bork Laser, yeah. Brock Lesnar is back, guys. Brock Lesnar is back, rocking that new hairstyle. What are my thoughts? I went apeshit for this. I'm going to be straight up, this was fucking awesome. The reaction from Michael Cole and Pat McAfee was amazing. Again, I really enjoy Pat McAfee and Michael Cole in commentary. The reactions by both were the funniest. But what happens after that? Roman Reigns leaves with Paul Heyman, and then the show goes off the air. So Reigns retreats. But apparently what happened after was that he attacked John Cena after the show went off the air. So we're going to see what happens. This is most likely going to be with Roman Reigns. John Cena ain't going to wrestle Brock Lesnar again. I guarantee you that. But what are my thoughts on this? I think this is really awesome. The fact that, we're going to be getting Roman Reigns, this version of Roman Reigns, going up against Brock Lesnar is amazing. Of course, Roman Reigns, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar did face off multiple times. Of course, their my favorite match from Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns was their match at WrestleMania 31 way back in 2015. that match was freaking epic. Like throughout that entire match at WrestleMania, like Brock Lesnar annihilated the hell out of Roman Reigns. As Brock Lesnar says, suplex city, bitch. And then, after that, of course, Roman Reigns began to get some offense, but I'm really interested to see what happens in this because of the fact that Paul Heyman is stuck in the middle of it and what they're going to be. I don't know what they're going to be doing with Brock Lesnar. Is Brock Lesnar going to be getting a microphone and cut promos? I don't know. I mean, Brock Lesnar's not really known for the good promo, but Brock Lesnar, I mean, he's not the best promo, but like if Brock Lesnar grabs the mic, he's going to say whatever the fuck he wants. He don't give a damn. But I'm excited to see what goes on. When do I think this match will be happening? I assume it's going to be at Survivor Series because of the fact that, like, my original scenario for this was you have Brock Lesnar going up against Bobby Lashley, have Brock Lesnar go over, and then you can have Roman Reigns annihilate John Cena at the same time. Both have their respective titles, and then you can have them both face off in the champion versus champion match at Survivor Series. But WWE is, of course, going to be doing something different. So, yeah. What are my thoughts on this? I thought this was an awesome moment. Brock Lesnar coming back was freaking awesome. I really enjoyed it. Do I think this was a move from WWE to try to take the fuel away from AEW because of what they did the previous night with bringing in CM Punk, which was huge? I mean, that was on the YouTube trending list for days, and I mean days, like from Friday to like Monday, they were still on the trending list. And the same as the Brock Lesnar return and the match with John Cena and Roman Reigns. But I mean, the video of CM Punk's return on AEW's YouTube channel has 7.1 million views on YouTube. That is insane. But do I think this is going to take fuel away from AEW? Absolutely not. Everybody's hyped for CM Punk. I mean, this dude hasn't been in wrestling for 7 years. I mean, the fuel ain't going away. I mean, this guy sold the most t-shirts at Pro Wrestling Tees. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, CM Punk is definitely a draw. Roman, he is a draw. But, yeah, overall thoughts on this. I'm glad Brock Lesnar's back, and I'm really excited to see what happens with this. I'm excited to see what happens when it comes to Paul Heyman. I'm going to be straight up. But, yeah. That was my SummerSlam review. Overall thoughts on this. I thought this was an okay show. It was not the best show as I thought it was going to be. But there was a couple of good matches, of course. Seth Rollins and Edge absolutely killed it. And John Cena versus Roman Reigns was just an amazing match. And the Brock Lesnar return was freaking awesome. Becky Lynch, I'm in a win-lose situation. I'm happy that Becky's back, but I just hated the fact on what they did when it came to Bianca Belair. I mean, if anything, I would have been happy if she did that to Nikki ASH instead of Bianca Belair, because Nikki ASH, I'm sorry, I don't like that gimmick. But, the fact that they did Bianca dirty like that, I don't even want to say they did Bianca dirty on that. I feel like they did both Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair dirty on that. I mean, the match that you saw, with the triple threat match that we all saw, should have been what we should have seen when it came to Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair. That's all I have to say about that. But apparently Becky Lynch is going to be a heel, so it is what it is. But yeah, overall thoughts on SummerSlam. I thought SummerSlam was an okay show. It was not the best show in the world, but the main event absolutely killed it. And a couple of matches absolutely killed it too. Some matches, not most. Some matches were not that great. But yeah, that was SummerSlam. That was my SummerSlam review. Be sure to go for and look for my future reviews. Of course, my AEW Dynamite review is going to be uploaded tomorrow. I'm excited for Dynamite because we got CM Punk on the mic again. I will be uploading my Smackdown and Rampage reviews. I don't know if I'm going to be going live for All Out. That's something I still have to decide, but I will let you guys know in the future videos. But yeah, please like, subscribe, comment down below, push that bell for notifications, and be on the lookout for more of the reviews. And this is Broken Havoc from the Broken Havoc Podcast, signing out.